So today I have a Pathfinder. This is a beautiful little pistol. Another 5-shot spur trigger, maybe known as a suicide special, but this one is particularly beautiful. See the engraving of the wildcat on the side, just adorned all over with various engravings. Now, I don't see any evidence of the name Pathfinder up here, and apparently most of them that were known, they were labeled Pathfinder on the top strap. This matches the description I can find in the FRT printouts, and it also matches the only image I can find online of one, minus the Pathfinder name up top. In every other regard, this matches the other one. Well, that and the nickel finish on the other one was still there, where this appears to be all gone. I'm not sure if it was nickel all around. There are maybe a few faint traces, like on the sight, and maybe a little bit on the brass body, but this seems to have lost the nickel and faded to a stunning patina. It's a really stunning example of an old pistol. It really looks its age, but in a good way. Anyway, from what I can gather, extremely rare. I've never seen one. I could find one picture online of one. I had bought this, I don't even remember what it was labeled as when I bought it. Definitely wasn't a Pathfinder. It was labeled as something else, but when I tried to find an FRT for it, it didn't match what it was labeled as. So it took me a lot of digging, a lot of work, and I had some help from a buddy, Eye on the Prize, if you're on Town Post or Gun Post, also known as Old West Gunner on YouTube. He was the one that actually found this, and I'm not sure how he did. He's got mad detective skills, I'll give him that. But anyway, yeah, a lot of digging, a lot of back and forth, and we were able to figure out that it's actually a Pathfinder. The biggest giveaway, aside from matching the other example minus Pathfinder there, is right here. I'm not sure if I'm getting this into focus. Doesn't really look it. The letter's right down here. It says P32 Cal. It's the only markings on here other than the engravings, and that fit the Pathfinder description very well. They were made by, they're listed as being made by Otis A. Smith, Norwich Falls Pistol Company, and Hopkin and Allen. I'm not sure if all three companies made identical ones and sold them, or if they each had their own version of one, and that was similar, marked Pathfinder and P32 Cal, but subtle differences. I'm not actually sure. The FRT listed as that, and I can find no other information on the internet really other than that. If anyone can find a photo of one of these or more information on them, please let me know in the comments. I think that'd be really cool. The only photo I could find was on collectorsfirearms.com for one that had sold, and that was it. Otherwise, the FRT for the description, and that's about it. The function on this one is pretty good now. Locks up not bad. I mean, it's a little loose, but pretty good. It's definitely shootable. I was shooting it, or trying to, but at the time, I hadn't cleaned it up yet. I just, cleaned the bore up, made sure that was okay, but I hadn't really done anything, and I took it out to the range and tried putting a few through it, and it jammed up a bunch of times. One time it was because I was shooting round ball, and the ball had come out of the cartridge, like unseated from the brass, and jammed up in the front end of the cylinder. Didn't want to let it rotate. But the other times, turns out the lock, it wasn't engaging, or should I say disengaging properly. So you would go to index it, and the lock would fall, but then it would pop back up before the cylinder rotated, and leave it locked, and then it'd jam up where it didn't want to move. The hammer wouldn't move because the cylinder was physically locked in place. A good thorough cleaning seems to have solved that. I haven't had any issues with it since, but I haven't been back out to the range with it since, so it is what it is. I'd like to include video of it shooting, but yeah, just haven't made it out there and doing the video, so unfortunately it won't be there. I should say that this is 32 rimfire, in case anyone was wondering. The P32 cal, I mean, it's referencing 32 cal, but it is a rimfire, not a centerfire, which is good because I'm in Canada and centerfire would be a problem from an antique perspective anyway. The bore in here isn't too bad. You're not going to be able to see it in this camera, but here, let me do this. Pull this out. You might be able to see into the cylinder. Yeah, even that's pretty dim. Need some backlighting or something. In any event, cylinder and bore okay. Pretty good, actually, for a pistol of this vintage. And as with all of them, they pretty much follow the standard, function. Put it to partial cock, unlocks it, lets you load it or unload it. Full cock, ready to shoot. Being single action, got it. Whoops, work the hammer each time. And yeah, this is probably, from what I can gather, one of the rarest pistols in my collection. I mean, certainly not one that's well known. And I mean, other than being stunningly attractive, I wouldn't call this particularly well put together. I think the Remington Smoots, that they tend to be put together a little better. They were a cut above. Smith & Wesson 1.5s. They're a little better, put together a little better. But I've had a couple of them in my collection, or a few over the years, and never had one of these. So I guess that says something about how common they are or aren't. You may have noticed the Marlin 1.5s as well. I've had so many of those in my collection. I absolutely love them, and they're well put together. But again, never seen one of these, so I'd say this is probably the rarest pistol in my collection. Anyway, I wanted to share this with you and just show you something unique and different, something we don't see very often. Hopefully you liked this and enjoyed it. And if you did, please like and subscribe. I would like to bring more of these to you. And yeah, until then, you guys have a good one.